Well, hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. It's Thursday, I think it is. Guys, we've got a great stream here today. Now, we got some exciting news yesterday because New Hampshire was named the #1 most free state in the entire country. We're #1. Suck on that, Florida. Texas didn't even make an appearance in the top 5. We'll talk about that in a second. But it's actually really perfect timing because I wanted to bring back my friend Dennis Pratt, who's been on the channel many times before, libertarian ethicist extraordinaire, the one of the organizers of Porcfest, doing all sorts of great stuff because Dennis has been working on some initiatives to give people opportunities to visit New Hampshire, to check it out, to see if it's a place you might like to come to live because let's be honest, most of the states in the country are trending away from liberty. We are one of probably the only one, but maybe you could argue maybe one of a couple that are trending towards liberty. Every other state is going to turn more blue, and we all know that the Republicans can't be trusted. They're just a couple years behind the Democrats. So if you're interested in freedom and liberty, New Hampshire is one of the places you're going to want to be. A lot of people don't know that much about New Hampshire, though, or might be a little bit nervous. So Dennis has got some great ideas in order to get you guys here, tour you around the state, show you what's what. I've lived here for over 10 years now. I actually celebrated the 10-year anniversary of moving to New Hampshire back in May. I love it here. I don't plan on leaving anytime soon. I think it's the place to be. Dennis, welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much, Carol.
Awesome. Well, there's so much stuff going on. I mean, like you've always got, like, people don't know, like, you've always got stuff going on. You've always got a plan. You're always putting something together. So you've got Free State Tours as your label today. What is going on with Free State Tours? Tell us about it.
Yeah, one of my 26 projects that I'm working on liberty, around liberty. See, the problem is that some of us have always wanted to see liberty actually blossom in the world. And we've spent so much time not seeing it and hitting our heads against the wall. And then moving to the free state, it's just incredible. All the different things that are happening here. And there's so much opportunity to actually make an impact. So I have a tough time. I was talking to to a woman who's equally as active as I am, just goes crazy with all the different projects. And she was saying, I'm just practicing saying no. I'm practicing saying no. And I actually may be at the point where I have to start saying no to things, even though they really excite me. They really excite me. So yes, I'm here to talk a little bit about something that's really exciting me right now. I don't want to skip over, though, the freedom in the 50 states.
Let's talk about it.
I analyzed the last this data set as well as the last two, in addition 3 and addition 4, and it's really exciting news. Really exciting news. The current one has us #1. We've been #1 throughout since 2011. We have been #1, except for 1 year when Florida beat us, 2015. That was the only year it beat us. And then immediately we just smacked Florida down. And we're now in #1 position. But that's only through 2019, Carlin. I've been here only 3 years. And the 3 years that I've been here have just been the most exciting advances for liberty. I tell people, don't think of this as a point of liberty. Think of it as a vector. And the vector in the free state is increasing. And so this does not reflect all the things that we've done in 2020 or all the things that we've done in 2021. As a matter of fact, the write-up that they have said at the very end, it's going to be really hard for all the rivals to New Hampshire to overcome New Hampshire, given what it's been doing over these last 2 years. And we're just getting started. We are just getting started.
I noticed the same thing. I was actually going to ask you about that. So it's like, I mean, other states like Florida gets so much attention because of Ron DeSantis and all that stuff. And granted, like, our governor is not our favorite governor. He's not a Democrat or anything, but he's not our favorite person in the world. But like, why do you think places like Florida and especially Texas, who was in Texas wasn't even in the running in terms of like top free state. Why did they get all the press? Yeah, it's like 21st. It's like in the 50 percentile. Right. And so why did they get all the attention and New Hampshire, it seems, gets glossed over most of the time?
Well, remember, this is a libertarian state.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have enough people to be in multiple states. And so the conservatives are looking at their own states, and the progressives want to take over everything, but they have a whole bunch of states that are really locked down for progressives. And so if what I think is going to happen, where we kind of divide ourselves, and progressives go to progressive states, conservatives go to conservative states, and libertarians we can't go to libertarian states. We're just too few. So we're going to go to one state, and we're going to make that libertarian, and it's just going to be incredible. But it won't be a conservative state.
Mm-mm.
It will not look like a conservative. So if I were a conservative, I would certainly consider moving to Florida, moving to Texas, or moving to Indiana. Those are great states, and I think that they have vectors that are moving towards conservative. I think that especially the last couple of years, people have started realizing, look, if I'm in these other states, they're coming for me with the power and violence of the state. And I have to escape that. I have to take my family and protect them and go to a place that's more aligned with our values.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's great. I think that people should. I think conservatives should go to conservative states. But if you're libertarian, if you believe that you own your own body and no one else has a superior ownership of your body, no ruler, no collective, no democracy, that you actually have the right to decide what you do with your body, to your body, and the products of your body, then there's only one state for you, and that's New Hampshire. And so we're going to smack that the window for the freedom of the 50 states. The states are about this far apart, and New Hampshire's been increasing. We're going to really raise that ceiling. And there's going to be a gap there that I don't think they can overcome.
Yeah,
we're not authoritarian. We're not conservative authoritarian, and we won't be progressive authoritarian. We're going to be libertarian.
And I really want to emphasize one of the issues that I think we're doing very well on, and something I cover a lot on this channel, which is the issue of school choice with what's going on in the schools and the indoctrination that's going on in the schools. So New Hampshire did set up education freedom accounts last year. That was a big win in the state budget, but they're actually going even further this year. And so I think they've introduced another bill where it's about, like, the first one was about the state budget. Now it's about the local budget, the town budget. And the reason I bring this up is Corey DeAngelis, who is probably the #1 school choice advocate anywhere, was so excited about what New Hampshire's doing. I have so many DMs from Corey DeAngelis, like, this is base. Like, he's so over the top excited. We're also doing things around, there's going to be a bill around educational transparency that's going to come up in this legislative session. So yeah, I mean, New Hampshire is there are a lot of people that are really paying attention to what's going on here, precisely because we do have people that are free staters that are in a position to introduce bills and actually get stuff done and to actually make real change, not just, going to school boards and making fiery speeches, but actually doing things that people are going to be able to utilize.
Yeah, Corey DeAngelis will be here at Liberty Forum. One of the things
that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, no, he's coming out here because of all the things that we're doing, I'll cover that. I guess the reason I wanted to talk to you guys today is that we often tell people, if you're really excited about liberty, and you really want to create one place that has human freedom, that we really break our shackles to our rulers in one place, and we actually treat each other peacefully, honestly, respectfully, but we don't have somebody who's always threatening us with violence in order to do things according to their preferences. They ought to come to the Free State. And the best way to find out if you fit in is come and visit us. So what we usually do is we say, come at any time. You go to our calendar at fsp.org calendar. You will see we have events every single day. Yesterday, I ran an event, and I had competition from 3 other major events. So I ran an event on charities. What types of charities should we be investing our labor and our money in? And then people are going, I don't know which one to go to. So we have so many different events. But the problem is that a lot of people go, I don't know anyone. I don't know which event I should go to. They need something a little bit more packaged. And so that's what we're doing. We've always packaged Porcfest. Porcfest is our big immersion festival. It immerses you in liberty. June 20th through June 26th this year. The tickets are going to be sold out by March. I'm pretty sure we're way more than halfway sold out. Last year was the first time that this was sold out. I sold more than twice the number of tickets normally, and we're gonna be sold out way before we were last year. So pick up tickets to Porcfest. Come to Porcfest. You will love Porcfest.
I just want to emphasize this. I have to jump in and emphasize this because I've been telling a lot of people that are in my locals community have been talking about coming to Porcfest next year, and I keep saying, like, buy your tickets, I've already got my hotel booked, like book your accommodations, just make sure you've got it reserved because it is going to sell out.
Yeah, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. We had 700 events, and there was even a knitting hub.
There was.
We give people the tools to create any type of hub, any type of event center that they want, and they create all different types of things. A lot of them are around liberty, but a lot of them aren't around liberty. They're around other interests. So it's absolutely fantastic. You'll love it. We had people last year who came to Porcfest. They'd never gone to Porcfest. They started volunteering there, and then they just never left. They stayed in New Hampshire. Yeah. And that's what we want. We want those people. We want those people who say, yes, I want to create this type of society for reals. And the one place that we're going to be doing that, it's not going to be in Florida. We just don't have the numbers. It's not going to be in Texas. It's not going to be in Indiana. And God love you guys who are in California and New York. It's not going to be there either. So please, if you really want that, you have to move to New Hampshire. But we have the Porcfest, the 20th and the 26th. You've got to go to that.
Oh, Dennis got a friend. No, you definitely have to go to Porcfest. You definitely have to go to Porcfest. Like this past year was my first time at Porcfest. I was a little nervous. I was like, I had just kind of started to get involved in this space. I didn't really know many people, but it's just like the community is so open and so welcoming. And it's one of those things where you just find yourself meeting new people and you just find yourself in just like random conversations that end up being really great. And it's just like, honestly, I've been looking forward to it ever since it ended last year, and I can't wait. I'm going to win the rant competition this year. I left early last year. I missed the rant competition. I'm going to win this year. But Dennis, so we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, but one of the things I want to make sure we hit on, so this is all part of like the Free State Project, right? Like getting people to move to New Hampshire so we can get as many libertarians concentrated as possible. But you have recently launched another component of this, which is the Progressive State Project. Because one of the arguments that I hear is like, New Hampshire is surrounded by all these blue states, and you guys claim to be libertarian, but how can you be libertarian when you're in New England? Can you just tell us about the Progressive State Project and what you guys are trying to do there?
Yeah, I've been talking about it for a while, Carlin, and it was your show, because I started talking about it on your show. And another guy called me up and said, well, why don't we do it? And I would go, well, I'm only doing 25 projects. Why not add one more? So we started, it's called Progressive State Project. It's basically a mirror of the Free State Project. And what it does is we have so many progressives here in the state who are so frustrated with where New Hampshire's going. They look at Maine and Vermont and Massachusetts and New York, and they go, why aren't we headed towards those progressive paradises like those states? Why are we going in the opposite direction? And and I understand that pain because as a libertarian in these other states, you're always going, this is going in the opposite direction. I don't want to be going here, but there are so many states that are moving towards progressivism. The idea behind the Progressive State Project is to help people find progressive states that better match their goals. You don't like guns? Well, don't try to fight gun control here in New Hampshire. You're going to lose. We've taken everything, all restrictions off. And I don't know if there's anything left, but whatever it is, it's coming off. So But why don't you go to one of the places that outlaw all guns except for the government troops? And there's a lot of states that are like that. And you're against the parents being able to take their children to a school of their choice. Okay, great. There are so many places that prohibit parents from having any say whatsoever in their schools. So, don't fight this, because libertarians have nowhere else to go. There's no place else for us to go. Progressives have, I don't know, out of the 49 other states, probably 40 states, would be, certainly the other 49 would be a lot better than New Hampshire.
They don't even have to go that far. They could just move to Massachusetts.
Well, Massachusetts, Vermont is very low on the freedom index.
Mm-hmm.
New York is at the bottom, and that's really catty corner to New Hampshire. So anyway, the idea behind the Progressive State Project is we help progressives who are really upset with where New Hampshire is going to find a state that really matches them better. We do have progressives who are leaving, who are really frustrated with what's going on in New Hampshire. They're leaving, and I think that makes sense, right?
Oh, it does.
Go to conservative states. Progressives should go to progressive states. There's only one place for us.
And just to emphasize how influential the libertarians are in New Hampshire, there is no other state. Jeremy Kauffman talks about this. There is no other state in which the Democrats are more afraid of the libertarians than they are of the Republicans. The Democrats here are more afraid of the Free State Project and what Dennis and all these guys are doing. They're more afraid of that than they are of the GOP. They actually try to paint the GOP as an extension of the Free State Project. It's pretty hilarious to watch if you guys haven't seen some of the streams we've done on that. But look at this. We've got Jared, who's coming to Porcfest. Sam has already got his tickets to Porcfest. Alexander's bringing her whole family to Porcfest. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be amazing.
Kids. Bring your kids.
Oh, yeah. Give your kids a job. Have them sell stuff.
I always tell people that the people who have the most fun at Porcfest are the tweens. Mm-hmm. Basically the kids who are from 10 to about 14 or 15, because they are the most entrepreneurial. They come away with hundreds of dollars. Some of the kids last year walked away with thousands of dollars, and sometimes in crypto or gold or silver. So it actually is going to retain their value. And they have so much fun. It's an open festival. It's a very supportive, respectful place. And they just have a blast. My daughter, when she was growing up, we homeschooled, but she loved going to Porcfest. So bring your kids.
Definitely. Well, let's talk about some of the other events that are going on. So you've got the tour coming up. What is this bus tour thing?
Yeah, so the big one that I've been working on for the last month, and I'm really excited about it because we've never done this before. But the idea here is that we're going to do a guided tour of the region. And the region I live in is Seacoast, so we're doing that first. So what we've done is we've created a whole weekend for people. You come here on Friday, okay? On Friday, you come here, you go to dinner with Porcupines. Then we have a comedy show with Robbie the Fire and 3 other
I'll be at that. Comedy. I'm going to that. I have my tickets.
And then we have a party at our Liberty Clubhouse. So you'll meet a lot of porcupines. You'll be able to talk to a lot of people. Then Saturday morning, you get on a bus and we take you all around the Seacoast and show you, what it's like to live in the Seacoast of the Free State. Now, this is just one of 6 regions, but I think it's a great place. And so you'll get a lot of a much better understanding of the Free State Project. You'll meet porcupines. You'll see the different regions. We'll give you lots of pointers for when you want to go off and look on your own. We'll be making stops and things like that. And it's all, we'll have segments throughout talking about homeschooling and crypto and all the different things that are going on here. And then that night, there's another dinner. If you're not going to go to the comedy show, we recommend there's going to be a group that goes down to Portsmouth, and there's a music scene, and you can have a lot of fun there. But then come back for the after party at our Liberty Clubhouse, and we'll have another big party there. And then Sunday we'll say goodbye to you with a brunch We'll have we have a monthly brunch. It's the third Sunday, which happens to be that Sunday. We call it Welcome to Liberty, and it's it's a big thing, and it's a lot of fun. It's at our Liberty Clubhouse, the Shell. And if you really are hanging around, we're celebrating Anti-Communist Day by playing Dr. Zhivago that night. So if you're still around, come there. But yeah, so the hotel rooms are cheap. We got a block of hotel rooms for under $100.
Oh, wow.
And you can get twin beds, so you can room with someone and it'd be $50 or something. But if you can't spend the whole weekend, come just for the bus tour. Just come just for the bus tour. If you want to spend one of the nights or something like that, or you want to go for the comedy, the only tickets we have left are for the Friday night comedy, and they're going fast. So if you love Liberty and you love comedy, this is really Liberty comedy. This is not comedy that you can see anywhere else except in the Free State.
Mm-hmm.
So come and do that. Spend the night with it. Yeah, have a party. Spend the night. Go on the bus. Take off, and then or just come for the whole weekend. Do 2 nights and come for the whole weekend. We'd love to see you. We are a very welcoming group here, and we'll tell you about the other regions. We prefer that you move here, but I'll tell you, I'm really excited about that. I hope that people take advantage of it. Of course, we look for the people who are really, really interested in creating liberty. So take one of the 26 projects off my platter, please.
Well, I mean, and that's actually a really good point, because like this whole thing is like, it's like an opt-in thing, right? Like I got very lucky. I moved to New Hampshire while I was still a Democrat, and I just happened to be here. But most people actually have to make the proactive decision to move, right? And that's a big decision. It's a big commitment. And so what I've noticed is like the people that are coming here for the Free State Project, they're just like they're all in. They're ready to go. They're ready to do things. They're ready to do projects. They're ready to do activism. They help each other. They support each other, and they're welcoming. And they're just like, because everyone wants the same thing is the thing. And so it really is just a really welcoming environment. So what are some of the things that people are going to see on the bus? Where are you taking them?
We're going to do a circuit around the edge of the entire Seacoast. So we'll be showing you all the different regions, the major towns, where we have clubhouses, where we're putting in clubhouses. We'll be talking about the different activities that have happened in the different towns. So at the end, you'll get a really good sense of the Seacoast and kind of where to come back to if you're interested in any of these areas. And if you're not interested, at least where to come back to just for fun. I mean, some of these places are absolutely gorgeous, picturesque towns, and we'll take you down along the beach. And we have a Seacoast, so you'll be able to experience that. And plus you get to meet nice people like myself and ask us questions, and it'll be a lot of fun. I want to emphasize, most people who come, their biggest regret in moving is that they hadn't moved soon enough.
Yeah.
That was my rant at Porcfest 2 years ago, that I had banged my head against the wall for decades in authoritarian states, mostly progressive authoritarian states, and trying to get people to see that this thing where we respect each other as sovereign human beings is really important. It's really ethical, and it solves so many problems. And of course, I failed. It was one frustration after another, and then I moved here, and it's absolutely fantastic. I'm so excited, and I'm so excited. And then I get diagnosed with cancer, and I'm going, oh my God, why did I wait so long? Because I've been a libertarian for 40 years, and I've only been here in the Free States for 3 years. And if I had those 40 years shifted into here, boy, you'd be seeing something. But anyway, I feel blessed that I'm here now. I feel blessed that I'm so busy. I feel blessed to have so many activities, and blessed that we're working on so many projects. And let me tell you about another one.
Yeah.
In February coming up. So let's say that you're crazy and insane, and you don't want to see the Seacoast, and you don't want to come to this great weekend, but you're really into crypto. We have the 500th crypto meetup, the longest running crypto meetup in the world. Ron, stop it. And they're having their 500th meetup, and so it's going to be a stop it, please.
He wants all the attention for himself.
By the way, my dog's name is Ron Paw, P-A-W, in case people are wondering. So he's
very nice dog,
very libertarian as well. So anyway, so that will be on February 6th, and they're starting to plan things around it. You know how I created like this big weekend for the Seacoast? Well, we're looking at trying to plan something big around this big crypto meetup. And one of the things, on the 5th, on Saturday, we also have the longest running Liberty meetup. Now it's not the 500th, but it's been going on forever. So you can go to that. They're going to have some crypto speakers there. Some people are going to be taking their families out to a sledding thing and having fun like that. And we might, very low probability, but I might be doing a bus tour there, which would be a crypto bus tour. We get you a wallet and take you around, but that's still in the planning stage. I will tell you though, on March 4th, 5th, and 6th, so that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we have Liberty Forum.
What's Liberty Forum?
Liberty Forum is kind of more the traditional libertarian conference. So we have speakers, and you go to rooms, and there's tracks, and afterwards you're drinking, you have some cocktails, and you're talking to people. So what you think of as a libertarian conference, that's Liberty Forum. We always have that in the winter. Get people up here so that they can see. Yes, it's cold, but yes, you can also survive.
It's fine. You get a jacket. They take care of the roads. It is fine.
I actually have been threatening that what I'm going to do, and now that I have these bus tours going, is we're gonna winterize new people. You come on, and we're going to take you out and show you. Here's the wool socks you buy. Buy these boots. Buy this thermal underwear. And just. Because people come and they're still wearing like one light jacket. I go, no, there's no such thing as being cold. It's just being poorly dressed. So just wear the right dressing. Anyway,
this is an important point though. I wanted to stick on this for a second because this is honestly, Dennis, like one of the number one things that I've heard since I started talking about this is like, you guys are too cold, Florida's warm. And I'm like, to be honest for me, and I grew up in Vermont, and so I'm probably a little bit different, but I usually don't even New Hampshire is not that cold. The weather is not that bad. Like people need to settle down. And I find it really interesting that people would give up liberty in order to not have to wear a jacket. Like most of the winter I'm wearing, this is what I wear out. I wear like a hoodie. I'm one of those crazy people that I probably do underdress, but honestly, it's just really not that bad.
Well, also, I don't think that they understand what it's like to actually be able to breathe free.
Yeah.
For me, it's an actual physical release. I have trouble now going back. I still have a house in Massachusetts, and I have trouble going back there. I don't want to cross that border. I like being here. I like being amongst thousands of people who believe in freedom, who respect me as a human being, who would never use violence against me, nor use the ruler's violence against me through law. And for me, it's like I there's so much peace in that. And then I go down to, I go to these other states and I do not feel comfortable. I really want to come back. And so I think what it is that, they've been beaten so much by these authoritarian states. They go, well, of course, this is the way it is everywhere.
Yeah. Not the way it is everywhere.
It's not the way it is everywhere. It's not how it is in New Hampshire, and we're shooting past that. We are really creating a liberty place, and I think you need to experience it. That's why we have these events. Come out here and meet the people. Try to get a glimpse of what it's like living here.
All right, let's talk about Liberty Forum. What's going on at Liberty Forum?
Liberty Forum. So Liberty Forum is more of a staid, you sit in chairs and you listen to talks. It's not that immersion process of Porcfest into a Liberty universe. But this year what we're doing is we are really focusing on people who are doers. So if you're in a state, even if you're in the most progressive authoritarian states, you should come here, because what we're going to be talking about is best practices for liberty. We have been working really hard on creating liberty. We know a lot of things. We have people like Corey DeAngelis who are saying, boy, look at what New Hampshire's doing, and here's some other things you can do. And then we also have a lot of our people who are going to be up there saying, here's what you might be able to try. Here's what you might be able to try. Here's what you might be able to try. Now, just as a hint, folks, it's really hard to do this when you're outnumbered 97-3.
Right.
It's really hard to do it. So that's the advantage that we have in New Hampshire. We're not we're not as outnumbered.
Not only are we not outnumbered, and here's the thing I don't think a lot of people understand. Like, not only are we not outnumbered, but the people that are fighting on this team, they're actually doing stuff. So it's not a passive community. I mean, that's not to say that like everyone that moves here is instantly like a liberty activist, right? But there are just so many people doing stuff. And one of the things that, I know that, I have people that are more conservative or came out of the MAGA movement, like watching this channel. And it's like, I cannot emphasize enough the stark difference between what I see with like the Republicans and the GOP, who just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and don't actually do anything. And the people that I interact with in New Hampshire, who are always planning something, always implementing something, always got a new idea, always got a new initiative. It is a completely different thing.
Yeah. Well, we are the most needy in terms of liberty. You go across 50 states, you find the people who have the highest need to breathe free, and you move those people here to the free state, and you set them loose. Now, the people who are going, it might be nice to not have X law or Y law, or everything else is fine. Those people, okay, I understand why you don't want to put on a coat. You don't understand what freedom can actually be. But the people whom we really want are the people who are the most rabid freedom lovers, the people who are the most active in their states. Now, they're in their states fighting like heck against overwhelming odds, against a gigantic tidal wave that's moving in the opposite direction that they want to move. Why don't they take all that energy and use it in a state where we're all moving in the right direction, and everyone around them is also pushing? I mean, it's just such a difference. It is such a difference, and people don't understand it. That's why we want them to come and visit. So on it's March 4th, 5th, and 6th. We have the Liberty Forum. I recommend coming early on the March 4th, because I'm probably going to do a bus tour that will take the west side of the state, that will go around the west side. So you'll go down and look at Nashua and Keene and up to Croydon and then Concord. We'll do a state house tour, and then back. So you'll get a really good understanding of what that part of the state's like. So it'll be a lot of fun. Again, we're going to be talking about free states and about all these different activities, and you'll get to see it and feel it and look at it. But then we'll get you back in time for the opening ceremonies Friday night. And so there'll be a talk, and there'll be drinks afterwards. And then you're in this thing where we're talking about best practices. How do you actually advance liberty? What does that look like? What are the problems that you face, and how do you overcome those problems? And we're actually going to be, the people from the different states who are coming, they're doers. And so they're going to be sharing their ideas. Here's what I did. Here's what I did. And, we in New Hampshire, we're excited. You tell us it's something new that might work, we're going to use it. That is the March thing. So we basically have 4 major events coming up. Sample the Seacoast weekend, December 17, 18, and 19. Is that right? So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Come out at least for the bus tour. But I think the whole weekend is fantastic. And then we have the Crypto 500. If you're really into crypto, boy, that is going to be a good time. And we still are planning around it. The Liberty Forum, March 4th, 5th, and 6th. And that will be, you're going to learn a lot. You're going to be meeting people from different states who are all doers and stuff. And you're going to be meeting people who are actually accomplishing things here in the Free State. So you can get notes from them. And then Porcfest, June 20th through the 26th. You just got to go. Please, I don't want to hear, oh, I didn't know it was going to get sold out. It's going to get sold out.
It's going to get sold out.
It's almost, I mean, we're believe me.
It's going to get sold out. Now, we do have a question from Nick H, and this is actually a question I've heard quite a bit. He says, what's the housing situation like in New Hampshire? Been looking for a house or a property to build, and it's expensive, unfortunately. And he did say he got his ticket to Porcfest, which is awesome. But, I mean, like, this is something I was talking about with, some people actually at the Quill a couple weeks ago, is that, like, housing prices in New Hampshire are, they're doing well. The people who are selling their houses are doing well. Yeah. So what can you say about that, Dennis?
Well, okay, so there's two sides. The downside is that yes, it's a tough market right now because we have so many people coming in, and the progressives and the authoritarians aren't leaving fast enough. I was joking on your show a while ago that what we should do is do a swap. So if you're in an authoritarian state and you have a house, you swap it with an unhappy person here in the New Hampshire, and all of a sudden, both of you guys are much happier. They're in their authoritarian state, whether it's progressive or conservative authoritarian, and you're here in the libertarian state. So that would be one way of doing it. The upside of it is that if you want a really good investment, New Hampshire real estate is probably the best thing you could be doing because, it's not just a lifestyle for you. I mean, we are going to be.
Ron Paw has something to say.
He wants to play. It's been raining today, so I didn't take him out frisbee playing. So he wants me to play with him. That's we're going to be opening up the economy. We're going to be opening up the economy. We're going to be really having so much abundance. All of the constrained entrepreneurship is going to be blossoming here. A lot of the constraints have to do with local zoning. And so one of the goals of the people here is get on the zoning boards, right?
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're doing is we are we're targeting zoning boards and saying, look, we've got to open these up. Now, of course, they're progressives and they say that they're shutting down building and shutting down housing to help the poor. Right. That's what they're doing, right? Whereas libertarians actually we do help the poor because we actually open things up and allow people to build things for people who want them. So anyway, so we are looking at that problem. I think I bought this house 3 years ago, and it's probably increased in price somewhere around maybe 50%.
Yeah,
in 3 years, and that's not really taking into factor the hyperinflation that we're going to be seeing pretty soon with all the flooding of money from the Federal Reserve. So I would suggest come here. Get your tickets for Robbie the Fire. Get your tickets for the bus tour. Buy property, whatever you can. Hold on for dear life. You'll make out great.
I want to echo that. Like, I bought my townhouse 10 years ago. I bought it 10 years ago. And part of me is kind of like, maybe we can move into a bigger place, have some more like land and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is, like, the housing market is really competitive. And my townhouse in the past couple of years has doubled in value. it's
Right.
doubled. And so I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna sit here for a minute and just like let people fight because it's fine for right now. We don't have kids, it's fine. But no, the market is pretty fierce. But that's, I mean, that's a reflection of like a lot of people want to be here, and it's an exciting time, and it's
Yeah.
just it is what it is,
And if you have property in a place that people don't want to be in and that's moving in the opposite direction, what's the value there? I mean, yes, it's going to go up with inflation, but it's not going to keep pace with us. We're opening up, we're making people more free. We're going to have a lot more commerce, a lot more activity here. People are going to want to move here. It's kind of like crypto. Is the price of Bitcoins expensive? Yes, it is. What's the price of Bitcoin going to be in 2 years? So yes, you could have moved here 10 years ago with Carlin. You could have moved here 3 years ago. You can move here today, and then people in 4 years would go, "Oh, why did I move here?"
Yeah. Why did I move to Texas when it was number 21 on the freedom list?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I mean, if you're okay with conservative authoritarianism, that's fine. You really don't want to be in New Hampshire. You really don't want to be in New Hampshire because we're not going to be authoritarian. We're going to be libertarian.
Exactly. All right, Dennis. Like, what else should we touch on? What else do people need to know?
I think there's four things to come to, and if you don't come to those, go to fsp.org and look on the calendar. You can come anytime. If you do come anytime, please come out to the Shell, out to the Liberty Clubhouse. I'm one of the principal founders of that clubhouse. We are so welcoming. We'll embrace you, show you around, tell you what's happening. We have events all the time, just at the Shell. We have events all the time in Seacoast. And then, of course, that's just one of 6 regions that has events all the time. So we have so many events. We're just packaging them into kind of fun little morsels for you.
I mean, there's just always something to do. Honestly, like, so the LPNH sent out their newsletter, I think last week, like their Thanksgiving newsletter, and they had a list of events for the rest of the year. The list of events was like this long. And that's just for the rest of the year.
If you want to help us out, go to one of these events until the end of the year. And it just kept going and going and going.
I mean, it's like everyone's just doing so much, and it's really exciting. It feels like all the doom and gloom in the world, like there's actually movement here, and it's a cool thing to be a part of. So we got to get our tickets to Porcfest. That's number one priority. If you come to nothing else, come to Porcfest. I know a lot of my locals members are going to be coming to Porcfest, so I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person, and we'll have a great old time. We got Liberty Forum, we've got the crypto thing, we've got the bus tour, so it's a good time.
The Sample the Seacoast weekend, December 18th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Come out. We'll love to see you. Give yourself an early Christmas present. Give yourself an early Christmas present. I gave myself a Porcfest as my birthday present in 2011, and it changed my life. My wife wasn't going to be there. She said, "You can do anything you want." I said, "I've never heard about this." So I went up to Porcfest. I'm just going to go up for one day. I called her up that night. I said, "Having a lot of fun. I'm going to stay one more day." Called her up the next night. "Just one more day, honey." I stayed the entire festival. Now I run it. Give yourself an early Christmas present and come out December 17th, 18th, 19th to the Seacoast. We will welcome you.
And if you buy your tickets to Porcfest now and you decide for some crazy, absurd reason not to come, you're going to be able to sell those tickets for a lot of money. You're going to be able to get a nice return on those tickets later. That's not going to be a problem. All right, Dennis. Well, where can people find you if they want to get in touch with you?
Well, I am on Twitter, so I'm Dennis Pratt Free on Twitter. And I write mostly about the Free State and libertarianism and things like that. And of course, you can always get me. I run the Seacoast Welcome .org website. So that's where we keep all of our events going on the Seacoast. And basically, contact almost anyone in the Free State and ask about me, and you should be able to find me.
Yeah, it's not going to be hard. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and telling us about what's going on. And I'm sure we'll have you back many times, and especially leading up to Porcfest. I'm going to want another Porcfest preview, Dennis. All
Well,
right.
come on out. Hope to see you guys in a couple of weeks.
All right. Well, guys, that's all I have for today. Well, assuming I don't get arrested at this school board meeting that we're going to in a little bit, but like, so if you don't hear from me tomorrow, just assume I'm in some sort of like county jail and Victor hasn't bailed me out yet because we're doing a thing at a school board meeting tonight. But I will be back tomorrow, probably at 3 p.m. for happy hour. So if you guys have never come to a happy hour, we watch a woke training or video of some sort. We mock it relentlessly. I drink. It's a good old time for all. We blow off steam and we actually see what the woke are saying so that we are in our best position to be able to understand it and fight back against it and know what words they mean and all this stuff. So happy hour tomorrow, 3 p.m. I will see you guys then. Mount that like button on your way out the door and have a great rest of your day.